the most toxic family rule you broke that cost you everything? In my house, you didn't just become a cop, you bled blue. My granddad was a precinct captain. My dad's a high-ranking detective. My older brothers, Mike and Dan, both SWAT. So when I told them I wanted to be an addiction counselor, the silence was deafening. My dad just looked at me and said, I didn't raise a babysitter for junkies. I was always the black sheep. While Mike and Dan were practicing takedowns in the yard, I was the kid volunteering at the local youth center. But in my family, breaking the police legacy wasn't just weird, it was straight up treason. My mom tried to compromise. Be a police dispatcher, work in forensics, but I wanted to fix the system, not just lock people up. My 18th birthday was the breaking point. No cake, no presents, just a police academy application slapped on the kitchen island. My dad tossed a black garbage bag next to it. Fill it out by midnight or fill the bag. Yeah, I was out by 2 a.m. I slept in my 2004 Honda, worked double shifts at a diner, and scraped my way through a social work degree. 5 years later, I landed a job at a crumbling county rehab clinic, the exact place where the city dumped its hardest cases. My coworkers said I'd burn out in a month. Then I met Jackson. He was a former undercover informant who got hooked on the product and was completely abandoned by the force. And he actually used to run intel for my dad's exact precinct. When I found that out, I low-key panicked. I almost handed his file to someone else. It's exactly what my family would have done. But that's when I realized this is exactly why I didn't want a badge. Sometimes saving someone isn't about throwing them in the back of a cruiser. It's about sitting with them in the dark. One night, Jackson was having a brutal withdrawal episode. Instead of calling security to restrain him, I just sat on the floor with him for 6 hours, just listening. After that, word got around the streets. Soon, other forgotten guys started asking for me. I quietly started a Friday night outreach group in the clinic basement, but that's when it got worse. A local paper wrote a tiny article about our clinic. A cop from my dad's precinct saw it. The next day, Mike walked right into my lobby in full uniform. You refused to wear the badge, but now you're playing savior to the scum we risk our lives to catch, he yelled. Dad was right about you. The clinic director almost fired me over the scene, but Jackson stood up at a city council meeting. This kid treated me like a human being when the rest of you threw me away, he said into the mic. Where were you guys when I was freezing on a park bench? It saved my job, but it officially nuked my family. My dad told everyone I was dead to him. They blocked my number. Jackson passed away last month. At his funeral, a young teenager walked up to me. It was his nephew, Cody. He said, "You're the guy who kept my uncle alive. I'm starting my social work classes in the fall. And yesterday, my mom sent me a picture of my dad's old precinct coffee mug. She said he won't admit it to anyone, but he asks if I'm safe every single night.